Hey everybody, Chris here. New price targets for Dogecoin. We're going to take a look at that in this video. Please be sure to subscribe to my channel. Hit that little notification bell too. You can be notified when my new videos come out as well as when I do live streams. And we were live on Wednesday afternoon, evening time. And there were a lot of really good questions in the chat looking at the charts, particularly Dogecoin and where Dogecoin's going to go from here. Looking not only at price, but a logarithmic percentage scale as well, which gave some new insight into how Dogecoin will perform going through the rest of this bull run. And then I found some other charts too. Other people are looking at similar things. So let's get into it. Let's take a look at the charts and the news. I'll show you what I'm looking at. So we start here looking at the Dogecoin chart, and we're right about 13.79. That's right. They're very similar where we were yesterday, and we are just been chopping sideways right now in this zone. Dogecoin came up right to 14.3. That was our previous resistance. We had traded above it briefly, wasn't able to hold support, and so now we're just kind of chopping sideways. So 14.3 has now become resistance again, but as Doge trades in this zone sideways, it's kind of following Bitcoin. Bitcoin at 67,000 has also been trading sideways. We did have the Bitcoin dip down to 65K there. That dip came down and wiped out a lot of leverage, long leveraged trades. Again, they were liquidated with that big drop down, but the buyers just ate that back up on Bitcoin, brought Bitcoin right up to 67K. And so that's where we are. We're chopping sideways there. What does this mean looking out? Well, we had on Bitcoin, we had a descending channel. Bitcoin traded up above it, came back, retested. That was that drop down to 65K, retested that, and then Bitcoin ready to move higher. Trader Allen's looking at a measured target at 80K, but mine is more like 100K, and I'll show you that on the chart there in a minute. Overall, when you zoom out, again, we're looking at the 4-year cycles, and in these 4-year cycles, Bitcoin has repeated from an all-time high, 2016 into 2017, when Bitcoin traded above its previous peak or all-time high. It was in price discovery mode, and up it went in 2017. Again, 2020 into 2021, Bitcoin traded above its previous peak or all-time high and was in price discovery mode. Again, up to 69K. 69K, then we did just touch above it with Bitcoin here earlier in 2024, but couldn't hold it, been chopping ever since, and now we are looking at entering a new price discovery area for Bitcoin. What does that mean for Doge? Well, we've got a trader that called the 2021 crypto collapse. Well, I mean, that was the end of the bull market, especially with Doge, though. We could have a 2025 crypto collapse too at the end of the bull market, and we start to turn to bear. That could happen as well, but flips bullish on Doge. This is Dave the Wave, and Dave the Wave is looking at this Dogecoin chart. And again, this chart is on a logarithmic scale, not the typical price that we see. Again, we looked at this during the live stream yesterday, which was great to look at. We're used to seeing this sort of, this is all of Dogecoin's history just based on price. And for 7 years, Dogecoin traded below a penny, eventually breaking out in 2020 and into 2021 up to 73 cents, which is now Dogecoin's all-time high before fading back down in price. But we look at logarithmic scale and we see that big run up percentage-wise. Again, 14 cents percentage-wise isn't that far from 73 if you zoom out and look at the entire history of Doge. So we take a look at that, and that's what Dave the Wave is looking at and saying, look, tell me that ain't bullish with, a breakout above from that downward trend line and then moving higher. So what does all this mean as we take a look at where the price targets are Trader Allen is looking at a short-term 18-cent run up from this bullish pennant, but on my Dogecoin chart, short-term, it's more a bull flag. We can zoom out to the 4-hour chart and we can see that clearer here, that we've got the big bull flag there, and that price target is coming in at about 17,420. That's right. 17,420 is the next resistance line for Doge, and we could be seeing that possibly around election time. We'll be watching that. Again, I'll be live Tuesday, November 5th. We'll be live that night looking at election results, but also the spicy trading we could have, Dogecoin, Bitcoin, and others. So we'll be watching that all live. Bitcoin, if we zoom out even further, we can see at a much larger scale what we're talking about in terms of this bull flag, and what its price target is that I have going into 2025 is 100K. So that's what I've been looking at in terms of Bitcoin. But again, we're looking at Doge price targets now and where Doge can go from here. And again, short term, 17,420. What does this mean in terms of a much bigger scale? Zoom out. Look at the 4-year cycles. And this is a very bullish look by Dima Potts. And I don't follow this at all because I think the curve needs to go the other way for these law of diminishing returns. He's flipped it the other way and has a bullish target. He's saying $10 plus Dogecoin, but his chart is pointing at something much larger. And I'm like, I do not agree with this at all. But what he says is, again, looking at the 4-year cycles, he's had these waves of these green and red lines of resistance and support, and eventually they cross and Doge goes on a run. 2016 into 2017, again 2020 into 2021, and here we are again with these green and red resistance and support lines crossing over, leading to the next big run up. So again, short term, we just talked about. Longer term, what are these targets? Again, Dogecoin. Doge momentum could ignite repeat of 2021. Could there be? Well, Javon Marks has looked at this before. He looked at it back in September when we had the breakout from the downward trend line, and his larger target is 65 cents. So a 65-cent target on breakout. Get short-term 22 cents, and then larger 65 cents, and then he updated that again with Doge, again, confirming that breakout from the downward trend line and trading up and down. And again, in short term now, we're sort of stuck in this channel, but again, we had looked at the same thing of the breakout from the downward trend line. And we did look at that right at September 9th. The same thing happened. We had that breakout, came down, retested, and then have confirmed that breakout. That was very bullish. Again, that was following that FOMC meeting where we had Fed lowered interest rates, and we're going from here. The next big event is going to be November 5th, Tuesday, election, and then Wednesday, November 6th, the Fed meets again. Are they going to lower interest rates again? Looking for a very exciting November. Bigger term, what are we looking at? This Tesla Cybercab, Model 2. Is it coming out in 2025 or more like 2026? Not quite sure yet about that whole thing, but could it only be a $25,000 car? And imagine an option paying with Doge. Looking out in the future, that is a very exciting thing we could be looking at for Dogecoin with Tesla. And of course, there's always the X integration as well with X payments, all of these big things coming forward for Dogecoin. In the meantime, we are looking at Doge again in this chop zone where we are right now, and we'll see where Doge goes from here. I'll be live again Friday, 4 o'clock East Coast time. So be sure to tune in for the next live stream. For now, though, leave a comment below. What do you think about these price targets for Dogecoin? Give the video a like. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I appreciate the support. We'll see you next time.